to put together Legendville to ensure that we change the narrative as regarding power system in Nigeria. This is me saying congratulations for the forthcoming launching, and then for investing into minds, for investing into capacity. It's a very expensive thing to find someone to invest to you, to call you, sit down and learn, sit down and acquire, capacity. I see capacity as a tool. I see capacity as opportunity to become relevant in any space you find yourself. So once again, thank you, Engineer Peter, for having me. And I want to crave your indulgence. I want to crave everyone's indulgence to just spare me 20 to 30 minutes of your time while we have a conversation about the matter of mindset, about the matter of excellence. And once again, my name is Onopoyepa Adioye. You can call me Victor as well. And I'm the CEO of Vishtech Integrated Innovation. I'm also a scholar at the University of Cape Town, a Mandela Scholar at the University of Cape Town. By profession, I study civil engineering, and by the grace of God, I do a whole lot beyond engineering. I'm vested into human development, and by the grace of God, I've been able to train more than 3,000 students and professionals across Africa. And today I'm glad to be here for us to discuss this matter because if we don't get our mind right, if we don't position our mind right, we cannot harness, we cannot maximize the power of it. And excellence, as we will be seeing going forward, is it's something that is right there with us. But how do we unveil it? How do we engage it? How do we, be a product of that particular subject? And that is why we should have this conversation, owing to the vision of Legendfile, owing to the vision of your personal self, and becoming relevant whatever you do. So once again, today we're talking about the mindset of excellence. Please confirm with me if you can still hear me and see my screen.
Yes, sir. I hear you. Can see your screen.
Oh, all right, thank you. So it's a very broad topic, right? Engineer Peter, it's a very broad topic, and I'm sure you really can understand why I said that. This is not a topic we can just discuss in 30 minutes and then we go home. No, this is a very broad subject that we may need to take a 6 month course, short course, certification course on it for us to dive very deep into it. But then, regardless of the depth of it, we are still going to spend our time to have a conversation. And this is what we are going to be looking at quickly. And I hope that we would have this section as interactive, as engaging as possible. So beginning with, it's quite essential for us to underline those keywords that form the basis of our subject matter. Mindset of excellence. But permit me to ask, and if I may, what comes to your mind when you hear the word excellence? Can I have one or two volunteers to just unmute their mics and give us a definition that comes to their mind when they hear the word excellence? Anyone?
So yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
My name
Please.
is Isaiah, and I'm the head of technical operations. So
Thank you.
for me, when when I hear the word excellence, what comes to mind is I think of quality. I think of high quality. Could
Hmm.
be high quality services, high quality, someone of a quality character or something like that. So to me, it turns down to a qualitative approach in doing things.
Hmm. Thank you, Mr. Isaiah. Keyword quality, high quality. Hmm. A system of approach, high quality. Thank you, Mr. Isaiah, for that. That was very, very uh, concise. Thank you. Any other person? Any other volunteer? Sorry, I can't see the screen now. I've just mentioned names. Just one more person, and that's fine. One more person, please. Mr. Isaiah, can you help me with the names of those on this in this workshop? Yeah,
Okay, so
one or two persons. Yeah.
okay, sorry. Okay, Abubakar, Ebute.
All right, Abubakar, please can I hear from you? What comes to your mind when you hear the word excellence, Abubakar?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so when I think of excellence, I think of the best. Like it requires you to give your best, like nothing less, the very best.
Hmm. Thank you, Mr. Abubakar. The very best. The very best. Thank you once again. Thank you, Isaiah, for the word you chose while defining your that the subject of excellence. High quality. So when you approach a matter, the first thing that comes to your mind when approaching it is high quality. So when the CEO brings a task to the table, assign you to a particular task, the first thing that comes to your mind is quality. This is from Isaiah. And Abubakar is saying that whenever the CEO gives him a task to do, what comes to his mind is the very best. Now, it then leads me to the second question I would love to ask both Isaiah and Abubakar. Would you say, owing to the fact that you understand excellence to be high quality and giving the best, respectively, would you say you are excellent in what you do? And how did you arrive at your answer? So I'm going to go through the reverse way. Then I'll start with Abubakar to hear from you first. Then Isaiah will come in. So Abubakar, can I have you in 30 seconds? I'll let you.
Okay, so I would say it's contextual and it's not really a direct answer. So in some cases I might say that I'm excellent, and in some cases I might say that I probably just fall short a little bit. But like I said, to me excellence is the best. So it's not really something that I just tend to throw around. It has to be something that is really mind blowing and something that is really at the top. So I would say it really depends on the situation. I can be excellent and I can fall short of excellence sometimes.
Okay. But how do you arrive when you say you are excellent in this thing? Yeah, you've expressed excellence in what you do over time, based on your definition of excellence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you arrive at it? What makes you feel that, oh yeah, I've done that excellently. I've done that. I've given it my best to
Okay. So I'm a designer. So
that. Okay.
if I were to create a product that is seamless, easy to use, and people understand it immediately
Mhm.
without them really having much difficulty, then I think I can see that as excellence because it satisfies the goal that it was
It
created for.
meets the goal, it meets the objective, and you have satisfaction in your delivery.
Exactly.
So the satisfaction is two-way. You, the producer, and the consumer are satisfied.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Abubakar. That's very, very sunset. All right. Can I have you, Isaiah?
Yes, sir. Yeah, for me, excellence is it's both an intentional and it's an ongoing thing. So I wouldn't say I have a direct answer, but just like Abubakar also
Now,
said.
now, Isaiah, now we are dealing
Yeah,
with excellence. So I
okay.
want to be particular with yourself. I want you to check. It's a check-in we are trying to do here. We're trying to do a check-in to this subject. We are laying a foundation. So I want you to check in on a personal note. When I say I'm excellent, I know excellent to be high quality things. And I'm the head of IT unit. So how have I been excellent in anything I've done? You can look back into probably your past work or tasks or something and just make out your comments from there. Okay, I have a track record of excellence, and this is how I arrived at this particular review. So that is the task we are doing right now. Do you get it, Isaiah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, so no comparison. Yeah, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, yes. So for my team, let me
Yeah,
use my team as an example now.
great, great. I like that.
Uh, yes. So there are several times I will need to communicate, and the communication gap. There's a way there's a way the communication is supposed to flow in a team,
Mm,
and if I don't do it properly as a leader should do it, I think I'm falling short
mm,
of that standard of excellence and quality.
mm,
So I try my best, like for the past few projects that we've worked on, I try my best to think of that standard. What is the supposed standard for communication between me and my team, and I try to keep to that. So that has been my own definition of excellence, and for me, I've been keeping that standard in mind so I don't fall short. So for me, yes, I think I've been excellent in the past, but it's still a conscious effort so I don't fall short of that standard, of that quality that I have in mind.
yeah, thank you, Isaiah. Precisely, this is your metric. This is your parameter that you are using to check your excellence status. And this is one of which you mentioned is communication. How do we communicate such that we're able to meet a standard? And that word standard you mentioned is a very, very intensive word when it comes to the metrics for excellence. You know, one of the things you'll be hearing your head, your CEO, the head of HR emphasizing all the time will be on the matters of standard. And when you hear the word standard, you shouldn't be thinking of anything else other than excellence, other than high quality, other than giving it your best. And Isaiah is saying that this has been his metric, communication. So on the matter of communication, I have ensured to communicate effectively to my teammates. Which means that the matters of excellence is quite all encompassing. We cannot leave out any particular metric. We cannot say, oh, we can design well, we can now Abubakar was saying that when he does his design, he's able to meet the objective, he's able to give satisfaction. That's excellent for him. And it's not wrong. Yes, it's correct. Now, we are seeing from another perspective communication, excellent definition, excellent metric. So, which means that there are other aspects as well that we may need to review to be sure that we are an excellent personified. We won't be able to call ourselves excellence if it is just one aspect that we are refined with or we are refined on, which means that beyond just being able to communicate, which is very, very good, which is very, very great, beyond ability to deliver top-notch designs, which is very, very impressive, beyond being able to deliver to our customers or they make demand for this particular package and all, we're able to deliver to them on time and all. I think there is much more to it. And this is what we are beginning to see from the responses we've gotten. Thank you once again, Isaiah. Thank you, Abubakar. And I think this shows us the relevance of this conversation. I have worked with a whole lot of technical guys, and it's disheartening in my heart when I'm working with someone that is very good technically, but professionally zero. And that is why it will be very easy for you if you are good technically to get a job, but to sustain that job will be a function of your professional proficiency. And over time, we've mixed up technical skills with professional skills. They are two different things. You can be technically correct, but professionally, those soft skills, communication, time management, punctuality to work, attitude, all those basic things that matters make up what we define as excellent. And while we continue to dig deeper into this matter of excellence, then we begin to ask ourselves, what then does it mean to be excellent? And we've seen from the conversation we've been having, there is a standard to meet. There is a standard, there is an objective to meet, there is a vision, there is a dream. And let me tell you, it is very, very important for us. There is a question there that is asking, why is this a relevant conversation? It is very, very important for us to have this conversation all the time because we are in a system that is very competitive. And the time we are now, it is very difficult for you to get into the heart of people if you take too much time on trying to convince them. So business psychology is telling us now in our time that you have barely 30 seconds to get the attention of your customer, to get the attention of your world. So how do we get into it? How do we be at the top of the game if we do it the common way everyone does it? If we do it, just commonly. That is why it is essential for us to discuss this matter, excellence. Setting a standard that whenever anybody sees it, whenever anybody hear your name, whenever anybody hear the brand, whenever the CEO is not able to meet up a meeting, is not able to get into the office, he knows someone that has embodied the vision of Legendville. So that is why we need to prepare our minds. You don't want to be a part of a system and you are found wanting. You don't want to be part of a system and you are always the point of headache. No, and the thing of the mind. You will see, Isaiah was saying that, oh, how do I communicate? How do I ensure everybody is on the same page? That is a communication from the mind, telling you that there is no way you can get through this task successfully if everybody is not. So that is your mind communicating to you that there is this virtue that you have to imbibe, that you have to inculcate, that you have to make use of if you want to deliver correctly. And if you don't even get it right, you will not be able to deliver as the head of a unit or as a unit member. So for every excellence, we're talking about performing performing at the top of your metrics. So whatsoever may be the KPIs that the HR of Legendfile is using, you being on the top of that metrics makes you excellent. I think it was Abubakar that was mentioning the contextual part of it. It's relative. In Vishtech, we have our metrics, we have KPIs. If you're on top of these, then you will know that yes, you are on top of the standard. I am sure it applies to Legendfire. It applies to every company I have worked with before. It applies to every company I know about. So now, speaking relatively to us here, what are the metrics? What are the visions? What are the objectives that you have to imbibe? And there is no way you can be excellent in anything you do if you don't even understand the mission, if you don't understand the vision of what we are doing here. And this is the first price you have to pay. So if you want to master excellence here in Legendfire, if you want to grow intensively and extensively, there is a price to pay. The first thing you have to do is to own the vision. Don't be a part of a system where it is very difficult for you to recite the vision off hand. It is very, very, very wrong. And you cannot be excellent because you will be doing stuff out of your own biases. You will not be working directly aligned with the vision of the company. So the first thing and there is something I learned from an organization where I once served. One of the things our president will always tell us to do every meeting that we do is to stand up and recite the vision and mission statement. We thought this was stressful. We thought, why was the need of this? And it got to a point I realized myself, I will ensure that time I'm, memorizing, trying to understand each word. And it became part of me, such that when I'm thinking, when I'm doing anything, I am working aligned to that statement, to those statements. And this is what can this is the work, this is the price you have to pay if you want to walk the path of excellence. If you want your name to be heard, and when it's being heard, it is heard for excellence, and not just it's just the way everybody is doing it. What's so special about what you're doing? It's being detailed, paying that price. Oh yes, I know what the vision is. I know what the objectives are. I know what the core values are, and that is the first price you have to pay. Then the next thing you have to do is to prepare your mind, is to position your mind. Don't work as if you are being coerced, as if you are being forced, as if you are being begged to come and work. You can't function well. There will be times when your essence of being here will be tested. Demands will be high, prayer will be high. Then how much have you prepared your mind? How much have you worked on your mind? This is the mind therapy. And how do you do that? It's a very, very intensive concept. There's a whole lot of activities you need to engage your mind with. You need to renew your mind with on a daily basis to be sure that, yes, I am still bearing this vision. I am still here. My mind, my soul is here. Because if your mind is not here, you will not be able to deliver well. I have worked with people like that who just want to be here and there, and they are not performing. Their mind is so messed up. When you put a prayer on them a little bit, poof, they are off the track. You can't be excellent that way. You can't master excellence that way. It's not about just reading book and be good with books. No. If you are following me, you will realize that I have not even mentioned anything like that. And by the grace of God, I was a first class graduate. But that is not the definition to excellence. It's part of it. Don't misquote me. But then that is not the first point of it. The first contact to excellence is your mind. And if your mind is too busy, if it's too cloudy, if it's too noisy, you cannot trend the path of excellence. So the first thing is you want to know what you want, understand your vision, understand your career goals, so that you will be able to know that you can pay the price that you should pay being here in Legendville. So if you think that this is not where you should be, I do tell my staff that a whole lot, because whatever we do to invest in you here will only work well for you if you truly want to be here. If your career goal aligns to what we are doing here. And because there are prices there are dues you have to pay. There's a whole lot you have to even give out yourself, as much as we are also trying to invest into you. You get what I'm saying? So mind therapy, it's a whole lot, but just trying to give an overview to some of the things that have to happen to your mind. And I see that a lot. Yes, I understand the situation and economy of things in the country. We want to do this and do that and do a whole lot, but we are messing up with our minds, because every point where you work, where you try to work, have their own different objectives, have their own different visions and mission. So if you want to be excellent here, and it's a very, very it's a big sacrifice that you need to sit down and be sure this is where I want to be. I have to give my all to it. Then from that point, you now begin to check for your strengths. I'm the IT unit head. What's my strength? What do I love doing the most? What is my best shot? You must have your checklist, you must have your framework, you must have the model you use. When a task comes in right now, this is the approach. These are the documentations we have to fill first. These are the information we need to get. These are the approach we need to do. If you need to create a sub team, you have this framework you work with based on your strength. And then you also know your weakness. Is it communication? Maybe you don't even know how to communicate. You are supposed to be in a meeting. Your unit head fixed a meeting, and probably you have you have a family matter to address or to attend, and it's clashing. It's conflicting with a meeting, your office meeting. Communication. Probably you are very bad at communicating, and that can diminish your excellence rate. Then you begin to now see how you can work with that and work on it. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, then you put them on scales and begin to work on the weaknesses, begin to nurse your strength and work on your weaknesses. Because everything has a way of affecting your mindset. Everything has a way of influencing your mindset. All right. Thank you. Then growth. It is when you're able to do this that you grow. Because excellence is a function of growth as well. It's a function of time. If you don't, the point we started from is the price to pay. These are the prices. If you don't understand this concept in depthly, it will be very difficult for you to grow in a system. You will just realize that you are doing the same thing over and again. There is nothing special about what you do. And you get to a point, you will reach a saturated, an optimum point where you are really not making any impact. This is an innovational system. This is an innovational company where every day you have to be on top of the game. You have to be digging deeper and ensuring that you are growing all-wise, technically, professionally. We are still going to that a little bit before I conclude. Then your impulse. So what then becomes your first reaction at every point in time when a challenge is posed at you. It is when you've worked on you've maximized your strength, you work on your weaknesses, you are seeing intentional growth, then it forms your inactions. It becomes part of your consciousness and subconsciousness, such that when there is a situation at hand that has messed things up, or you are not seeing the response you needed from your team member as a head, or you are becoming too pressured as a member, then how do you react? It's a function of all these things. Then induction. This is who you really are now. Are you now excellent? Can you say yes, you are really excellent, or you are just good at what you do? They are two different things. Are you just good at what you do? You can design well, you can code well, you can research well, but are you really excellent? So catchment area, some of the areas you want to ensure you balance up to become an holistic individual. Your knowledge based, your knowledge capacity. How well are you informed? In the role you are playing here in Legendville, how well are you informed? This is a research-based company, because by the virtue of research, you're able to develop product that can actually meet the demands of the country, right? That can actually solve the challenges. That can actually meet the needs of the people. People are in need, a whole lot of needs. As we speak right now, there are communities, there are areas, there are in the black zone, but then there are opportunities. These are opportunities for us. These are markets for us. So how do you expand your capacity from where you are coming from here? So these now are the actions that you need to take deliberately. Knowledge. The company, this what we are doing right now, this workshop we are doing right now is a way of investing into you, right? So, but then self-induction, this is what we are talking about here, induction. So self-induction, then how are you also taking it up from there? How are you working extra mile? Extra mile. Are you taking your time to research? This is one part I don't joke with personally. Learning and researching is a very, very is a key strength for me, and it has really helped me. It's building me. It keeps me growing as an excellent individual. There is no two-way to there is no two-way to it. There is no shortcut to it. It's either you know, you don't know, and you don't know is not a bad thing. It's how you respond. Self-induction, impulse is how you respond, which are the result of your growth. Have you grown beyond limiting yourself? Have you grown beyond, I can't do this to this one is what I do? No, 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 no. You have to explore, you have to study, you have to read, then you build your capacity. You can't build capacity if you don't take time to take courses that will build you. I'm rounding up, okay? Then appearance. You want to appear well, right? You don't want to come to meetings or to office and you're just wearing a casual stuff. Probably that's how you've always dressed, and no, 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 no. I can't change that. Now, culture in every system is very important. There are cultures in the workplace that you must imbibe. We've talked about this earlier, and I don't want to just keep back to them. It's going to affect the way you also appear. I don't see myself going out to a meeting or going out to a professional space and I'm just dressed casually. I have to present, I have to represent. So you have to have this consciousness all the time. It's a little investment you can do to yourself. Get nice dresses that will position you to appear well, because a lot of work has been happening inside of you and it has to portray out of the abundance of the heart. So it's what you have there in your mind, the way you think in your mind, so you are. So if, the way you have positioned yourself, the way you worked on yourself is where you will appear and project. There is no you can't fake it. If you fake it, it will be so obvious because it will not tally, and you look so frustrated actually at the end of the day. So approach, it also influences how you approach things. If you are very knowledgeable and you are very good at researching, you will know that at every point when you are faced with a challenge, you learn how to. The first thing you have to do is to research. I was sharing with my team, we got a job from a client in Canada, and we've not done something like that before. And this is what they wanted. I have to take up the job, started researching because I can't even approach my team to tell them what to do if I don't have the good understanding of it. And this goes to all unit head. You have to be proactive. You have to be excellent. You have to be unique in your approach. You have to be outstanding in your approach. There are a lot of resources, free resources out there. Well, by the time I approached that work, I never knew this ever existed in the programming world. I never knew. And it was so interesting to adopt that system. Research, knowledge, acquisition, exploration. Then foresight, you must have foresight. This is how you build excellence. When you get a task, maybe directly with the client or from the head, you begin to look beyond just what they are saying. What is the special ingredient that you can bring into the system? I once worked with the client overseas, and there was an issue, and it happened that time. And later on, about 3 4 months later, he reached out to me again, and it was like, hey, he has the job now that he wants to do, and he really wants me to be on the job, and this and that. I was like, okay, this is the price, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to do. And he was like, oh, this is too much. He has other 3 complaints that is already submitted their quotation, and it's way cheaper than that. I was like, this is what we are going to offer. These are the values we're going to give to you, and this is what we're going to do. You're going to get value for your money. I was like, About a week later, I reached back to me. I was like, honestly, we had about 1 hour call on this conversation. It's like, honestly, I really want you to do this job. I can't imagine myself giving this job to someone else. That meant a lot to me. That shows that, yes, something different is happening to me. How would this man, all the way from the country where he is, reaching out to me and saying that he wants me to be on this job? Because of the track record we have together, because of the product of the work we've done for him in the past. And because this is the concept, this is the mindset we have. We don't want to do anything for you that is below standard. We don't want to do anything for you that you will not be happy with going forward. And we are not just giving you the technical part, we are also giving you feelings, emotions, something that you would hold, that will stay with you forever. I want you to keep coming back for more. That, oh, give it to those people. Recommendations. Give it to those people. Give it to those people. That is foresight. You look beyond the now. If I take this action, what's going to happen in the future? What's going to happen to my career? What is good? Is it going to increase me? Is it going to make me better? Is it going to expand my network? You need to have a foresight. Is it going to promote our company? Is it going to lift our company to the next stage? Then attitude. It forms your attitude. Then it expand of course, you have to be intentional about your finances. You have to be intentional about your emotions, how you express your emotions at the place of work, and then leadership. This affects your leadership abilities. Then I can't overemphasize the matter of spiritual. You have to be very spiritual because you live in a very competitive world. We live in a system where everybody is doing a lot of things to be on top of the game. So you have to trust your God and you have to learn his way well. It is the touch of your God that can help you to stand out, regardless of all the prices you pay, the internal work you do. How much have you submitted to the God that created you? And you have to hold your faith well. You have to practice it well. You have to trust the process of your faith. Because whatever comes out of that faith the touch is going to lift you. The touch is going to make you outstanding. It's going to put a crystal and shining light upon you. I can't overemphasize this. It's a broad topic entirely. And as I conclude, if you are made the CEO of Legendville Energy today, what would you do differently? I'm going to leave this question to you as a rhetorical question. What would you do differently? The CEO currently has a lot of beautiful visions, objectives. I mean, he has a beautiful vision. He has series of objectives and missions to accomplish. So, if you are to become the CEO, what would you do differently? What technology what innovation will you bring in? What technology will you bring in? What advancement will you bring in? What's so different? What's so outstanding will you bring in? And this is me telling you, it is always very important for you to always see yourself like the CEO. Take ownership of your role. Don't wait for you to be forced to do this, to do that. The concept of excellence has been too complicated over time that we think it's one big word. No, it is in the small things we do that makes us stand out. When I'm approaching my clients, I am always very particular about how they feel, not just about the work, but how they perceive about our relationship. Is this somebody that wants to stay with me for another job or recommend for another job? Or can I actually solve his problem or her problem? That's how I think. Because what they perceive you is very, very important for your own growth and development. So once again, Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it is done. You gotta pay the price. You need to know your strengths. You need to work on your mind, engage your mind every day, and then see yourself growing excellently. I wish you the best in your endeavor, and congratulations once again on your forthcoming launching, and all the best. Thank you so much. If you have a question, please feel free to ask me and I will answer them. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor Ope. That was a very, very powerful session. I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I did. I've taken down some notes, some pointers while he was sharing that wealth of wisdom and abundance of wisdom with us. Thank you so much for that. I do hope um, others as well were able to jot down a couple of things so that we could um, we could apply them. So this session is being recorded, and I would make it available as well to us, both to the facilitators and to the team. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning, everyone will be receiving a certificate. Everyone that participates in the workshop will receive a certificate. I really, really appreciate you, Mr. Okay. And as well, the facilitators are also going to receive certificates of appreciation as well for their time and their wisdom. So please, those of us that have questions, you can ask your questions. Those of us that have questions, please, you can ask your questions. The ground is open for question and answers.
Okay. So I have a question concerning one of the catchment areas of excellence, and it's about foresight. As a leader, it's actually one of the characteristics that we're supposed to have. So my question is, we live in a very disruptive era. So what's actually the difference between foresight and being futuristic? Is it that we have to have a mix of both of it, or they're actually two separate ideas entirely? That's my question.
Thank you, Isaiah, for that question. Futuristic is being a visionary. Futuristic is you are building a system that is sustainable, that even if you are not there in the future, it will continue to exist. You cannot be futuristic if you don't have a foresight. So it's an attitude, it's a character, okay? It's a character of all the tools or the things you need to have to build a futuristic endeavor, to build something that will last, that is sustainable. So it's looking beyond, and it doesn't just happen to anybody. You can't just learn to have foresight if you have not worked on your mind. It's a function of the mind. So how do you perceive things? How do you think this is going to be if you take this action? What will be the consequence or the implication of this action? So it's like measuring, analyzing an action before taking it, analyzing decision before taking it. Because it's what you do now, is what you now take now that will now inform that future that you're talking about. So it is now that action. It's like a tool of making the future. So when you are able to look into the weigh all the measures, weigh all the metrics, and be like, okay, if I do this, it's going to be like this. That is now foresight. So that action, what you now do, is it sustainable? If that thing is not sustainable, that makes it futuristic. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, I do understand now. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I didn't get that.